This is 42-year-old Clifford Patterson. Back in April of 2020, Clifford was outside of his apartment arguing with his neighbor. As the argument escalated, Clifford pulled out his firearm and he shot the other man. The police were called and Clifford was brought in for interrogation. At this point, Clifford doesn't know the other man is dead, but the detectives plan on letting him know.
You doing alright?
I'm fine. I just can't believe what happened. It's just a horrible thing. I'm just disgusted with the whole event. It just shouldn't happen. I'm just so sick. I'm just sorry it even took place. I can't even believe it happened. It just happened so fast.
Okay. So I'm going to read this form to you right here. We've just taken this middle part and made it a little bit bigger so it's easier to follow along with us, okay? So your name is Clifford Patterson, is that correct? Do you want to just kind of explain to us what transpired this morning?
It happened so fast. The guy, we had some words. He came out of his house. I think first of all his dog came out. He came out after his dog and he put the dog in and kind of bumped shoulders with me. You know what I mean? And I kind of didn't pay any attention. He put the dog back in the house. Then he came back out and I was just asking if they could just, they could just be quiet, keep down the noise. And he was like, I don't have to do shit. I'm about 2 seconds off your ass right now. And that was like, I don't remember what. I was like, what are you talking about? What's going on? And before I know it, I think his girlfriend or somebody came out and she was grabbing him by the hand and she was trying to hold him back. And before I knew it, man, he just lunged at me. It was like from here to here, and he was just like
from me to you?
Yeah, and he just attacked me, and I was scared of the guy, man. He was big, he was vicious, and I just he didn't know I had that thing on me. I'm sure he probably wouldn't have done that.
What thing are you talking about?
I had a firearm.
You had a firearm on you? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. What kind of firearm do you have?
The Beretta 9mm.
Beretta 9mm.
Yes,
and you had that on you at the time?
At the time, yes, sir.
Okay. Was it in a holster in your pocket, in your pants?
It was holstered.
Okay. Do you wear it like we wear our guns? Or?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So he lunged at you.
Yes.
And then at that point, what happened?
At that point, man, it happened so fast. I was scared. I pulled it out and I said, leave me alone. And then his eyes got big, and you know what I mean? And he was like right there. He didn't have a chance. He was trying to go like this with a split second, back up and retreat. And I just gave this. I think I just gave it to him. I just wanted him to back off and leave.
When you say you gave it to him, what do you mean?
I pulled the trigger.
Okay. I understand this is hard for you, but we have to walk through everything that happened so that we fully understand.
It just happened so fast. I was scared. You know, he's a big, intimidating guy.
Do you remember how many times you pulled the trigger?
I think maybe a couple, maybe 2.
Okay.
I don't think it was no more than 3. I just wanted him to back off, and he did.
Okay.
And he did. And that was it. And he just kind of bobbled in the middle of the street, and he just kind of collapsed after that.
And then where did you go?
I stood there for a minute, and I was like, I said, I was talking, I don't know, I was just saying, I'm sorry, I had to defend myself. I told you to just leave me alone, you know what I mean? And at that point, I think people started to come out the houses, and I went back in for a while because I didn't want to just, stand there and look at them, with a gun in my hand. I just went back in the house for a minute.
You went back into your apartment?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and
When Clifford describes the interaction with his neighbor, he mentions that after he pulled out his firearm, his neighbor retreated, but Clifford says he still decided to shoot him. The detectives will have to dig into this part more, because if the other man did retreat, Clifford could be charged with murder.
And I think I had called my sister and I told her what happened. I just said, I just can't believe it. He tried to attack me, but the guy's been threatening me and taunting me for a long time, man. He's been...
How long?
Man, it's been going on for almost probably a year now. You know what I mean? I just been ignoring it and going back and forth. We got thin walls. He'll say stuff through the walls, you know what I mean?
Like what kind of stuff?
It's just saying, it's just ignorant stuff, man. Just saying, like, nigga, you don't know me and stuff like that, you know what I mean? Just ignorance, just like threats, you know what I mean? The guy's a gangster, you know?
Has he ever made direct threats to you, like I'm going to kill you or hurt you or anything? Has he ever say anything like that to you?
Well, he would just say stuff through the wall, you know what I mean? Not really directed toward you, but just so you could hear, like, right, would just make threats, just all kinds of threats, just through the years and stuff. I kind of knew this day would eventually come, you know what I mean? And I just didn't feel like being bullied, you know what I mean, anymore.
I hope on everything, bro, that he got some type of report, because he talking about, I knew this day was going to come. I knew I was going, bro, no. I hope that you filed a report and that is some type of proof of this evidence. I'm telling you, what do you say on the movie? It's not about what you know, it's about what you can prove in court. It ain't about what you know, bro. All of that shit sound good. Show us the black and white. Show us when you say, oh, this too much for me. I need woo, 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 woo. Yeah. Yeah, bro. It's that black and white when you go in front of that magistrate/judge.
I stood my ground today, you know what I mean? I did. If I wouldn't have done that, he would have probably tore me, and he would have tore me in the
Was there anything in particular this morning that kind of set everything off that happened with you guys? Your mom said something about you going over there and knocking on the door or whatever.
Yeah, I was over there knocking.
What was that about?
Because they were making a lot of noise, and I was just like, hey, I was about 10 feet away from them like this. I backed up, and when he opened the door, I was like, hey, can you just keep it down? You know what I mean? I think, your kids or if somebody's making noise, because I sleep in the basement, no drop stuff on the floor and stuff. And I asked him real nicely. I was just like, hey, you know what I mean? You think you can, you know what I mean? He was like, what the fuck are you talking about? He was like, my kids asleep and shit like this, and then the dog ran out the dog and bumped shoulders with. He threw the dog back in the house and then turned back around, and he just started going off on me, and his girl came out and kind of grabbed his arm. He was like, I'm about 2 minutes off of your ass right now. You know what I mean? And he lunged at me. And
so when you went over there and knocked on the door, that was kind of all ran together with the actual shooting, is that right? I mean, how much time in between when you knocked on the door and when you guys got to the... Yeah, did you go back, knock on the door and have that conversation, then go back into your house and then come back out?
I don't really remember. Okay. I don't remember. It just happened so fast.
Did you really have the weapon on you at the time when you knocked on the door? Or did you go back to your house and get the weapon?
No, I did. I went back. Yes, I went back. Yes, I went back in the house.
Okay. And then,
I didn't go over there with it eventually.
Okay.
No, I didn't go over there with that eventually. No.
So that mean that you had time to think about it while you was walking. They're gonna fry this man. They're gonna cook this man, bro. You can't say that that's self-defense. Self-defense is you standing on the beach or something like that. Dude walk past, boom. One time real quick. You're like, oh, hold on. Foot. That's self-defense, bro. You got in your feelings and went back to the crib and grabbed it and then came back. That's premeditated. It's a difference.
And then, so you knock on the door and you have a confrontation with him and you go back into your house.
Right, and I'm standing on my doorstep. Right, you know what I mean? And he comes out again, and then he got his girl with him. He's trying to challenge me to a fight, And, I'm telling him to back off, leave me alone, you know what I mean? And they finally, lunged at me. And
what did he say to you that made you think he was challenging you to a fight?
Because he said, I'm about 2 seconds off your ass, just like that. He said, just from me to you, said, I'm about 2 seconds off your ass right there. And then he broke from me and
at that point, you had to go on.
Right.
Okay.
The important thing to note here is that when Clifford had the initial confrontation with his neighbor, he was unarmed.
It wasn't.
He then went back into his home, grabbed his firearm, and stood on his doorstep, most likely waiting for his neighbor to confront him again. Because he went back to get the firearm, he could be charged with premeditated murder.
I don't be lying to y'all, bro. I don't be lying to y'all. I'm keeping it 1,000. Recording at 4 o'clock in the morning to drop, man. I'm serious about this, bro. I know what I'm talking about. Call me undefeated because I'm defeated. I ain't never been defeated, bro. it's not about what you know, it's about what you can prove in court, bro. And in his mind, he looking at it like, all right, I'm telling you, let him come pass again. Let him come pass again. He could be getting bullied, and he like, all right, today gonna be the last day. Let him come pass again. But they gonna look at that situation like, bro, as you were walking, every step that you took, you was thinking, all right, I'm gonna get this done, and if he come, I'm gonna shoot him. I'm gonna get this gun. If he come, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna get this gun. I'm gonna come. Which also means that you had time to be like, you know what? Same way that you've been doing the last couple times. I ain't gonna shoot. Like, go ahead. I'm gonna brush it off. I'm gonna let it roll off. And it's the thing that be getting me is like, that shit is crazy to me, bro. Like, I understand the whole, you got time to think about it, but just being in that situation is, it's different. I'm sure it's different. I've been in a similar situation where, somebody get on your nerves and you like, all right, let him come pass again. Let him come pass again. I'm going to dot his fucking nose. His nose going to look. Yeah, that's what we on. But being in that situation, bro, it's tough to de-escalate, yourself, especially if what he's saying is true, it's been consistently happening. If you've been consistently bullied or something like that, bro, yeah, you want to make sure that you eliminate that threat and get rid of it. But it's crazy. They're going to look at that as like a premeditated thing. I get both sides. It's tricky law.
So after the shooting, what did you do with the gun?
I went in the house and I just set it on the table.
Okay.
I just set it on the table.
And then what happened after that? You called your sister.
I called my sister and I told her what had happened. She said, okay, I'll be over. And then before I know it, the ambulance and stuff was out there. I didn't really mean, I just wanted the guy to back off of me. I didn't really mean to do any real serious damage.
Yeah.
But honestly, I stood my ground. I protected myself. He attacked me. He did. That's a fact.
But at some point, he was backing off of you. You said that when you pulled the gun up, he started to back off.
Well,
I understand you right.
Well, when he lunged at me, you know what I mean. I drawed on him. It's like his eyes got big and froze. You know what I mean, real quick. But at that point, you know what I mean. It just happened so
back
fast.
up at that point, or?
No, he just stopped, like, you know what I mean? Yeah, like point blank, like, yeah. Like, well, he didn't believe it because he didn't know I had that on me or even had one, period.
Okay.
But before that, nothing physical happened. I mean, you guys wasn't actually fighting or...
No, I didn't give him a chance to, but if I wouldn't have drawn him at that point,
yeah,
he would have hit me, yeah. He would have attacked me, yeah.
Did he have any kind of a weapon?
Not that I know of, no.
No firearms, nothing blunt, anything in his hands?
You know, he was too big for me to be trying to fight, though. He was too
I understand that, but what I'm asking is if you remember seeing any weapons, him having any weapons.
No.
Is that your gun? Do you own that gun? Did you buy that gun? Okay. Where did you buy it at? Do you remember?
You have a couple... Now, your mom said you, like, buy guns, sell guns, or, collect guns or something.
No, I have them from time to time, but I only have one now.
You don't have one now? She thought maybe you might have two or something.
No, I only have one.
And that's the Beretta.
That's the Beretta. I had that for about 2
And you have
years.
you have a CCW permit also?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I mean, it just happened so fast. You know, I feel threatened. You know what I mean? I was scared of the guy. And once he lunged at me like that, I mean, he was definitely going to attack me. I did defend myself. There's no doubt about that. He was going to cause me bodily harm at that point, no doubt. There's not a doubt in my mind.
Have you ever had any kind of a physical altercation with him in the past?
No, but he was saying stuff trying to like lead up to one. You know what I mean? I guess kind of like trying to bully me and pick on me and stuff. You know what I mean? And like 10 years ago, I would have probably just fought him. You know what I mean? Anyway, but I was just tired, man. You know what I mean? I couldn't fight this guy. He was just too big. You know what I mean? Once he wanted to get in a physical altercation and lunged at me and wanted to street fight, I just couldn't do it. I'm just too old and too tired. The guy is half my age and twice my size. I couldn't do it.
Your mom was.
I believe him on that. Bro. I just feel like it's going to be an unfortunate circumstance for him. I believe him on that. And what y'all got to understand, bro, as you get older, the less you give a fuck and the less you really want to get into. Like, I know for me, bro, I'm like, I ain't really trying to get into a whole lot. I enjoy, doing this YouTube, going out with my lady friend and all of that. And shit, even you start to enjoy work a little bit more. You get a little bit more pep in your step at work. But yeah, bro, like at that age, bro, life start to become simple. Look at how bro dressed. He ain't dripping. He ain't come down there in no designer. He ain't got on no Jordans. These ain't what's they? Amiris or Levi's or nothing like that, bro. He ain't on that type of time, man. He just like, hey man, listen, I'm just trying to go. He probably got a kid, take care of my kids, go to work, get my money, and enjoy my weekends and live my life and live my regular life. But like I said, it's gonna be unfortunate that the situation played out like that, and the law is the law, and that's how it be. It's how things work.
There with you?
Yes. Yes, it just me and her, yes.
Was she out there when everything happened?
Yes, I believe she was. Yes, and she was right beside me. So when he lunged at me, you know what I mean? I didn't know what he was going to do to us. I didn't know.
Did you see anybody else outside other than, so you, your mom, him, and his girlfriend?
I believe so.
Do you remember seeing anybody else outside?
No.
Okay. Yeah, and I'm sure you were probably focused on what was going on.
And everything happened right there in the parking lot?
Well, no, it happened right here, right on our doorsteps, right there. Our doorstep was right here. I was probably about 2 feet away from our doorstep, and we have a brick wall. He actually walked over on our side. You know what I mean? The girl was trying to hold him back. He was just pointing his 2 fingers like this, and once he broke away from her and done this, I just basically, you know what I mean, just draw real fast, and I did it 3 times, 2 or 3 times.
2 or 3 times?
Yeah, 2 or 3 times.
Was it pop, 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 or was it pop, pop, and then another one later, or do you remember?
I mean, it was just pop. I think it was just pop, pop, pop in the guy, and he kind of just went like this, and he kind of just went out in the middle of the street. And
Okay, so he stumbled out there.
You had him kind of on the sidewalk, and then he stumbled out there.
Right.
All right.
Clifford still doesn't know that the other man is dead, and the detectives decide it's time to let him know.
Anything else? Well, if you don't know, he's dead. Yeah, I know that that's not something you want to hear. So we're gonna ask you for a couple things right now. We're gonna ask you for, and this is standard in this type.
I did not mean to get hurt.
I hear you.
I did not mean to hurt you. I would not wish this on anybody.
Sure.
I would.
Yeah, it's a.
I just wish I would have just let him kick my ass at this point. You know what I mean? I was just tired, though. You know, he was just too big. I just couldn't fight him. You know, I probably just should have let him do it. I should have just let him kick my ass is what I should have done. But at that point, when I had that gun on me, if I'd have let him kick my, he could probably got a hold of that and done the same thing to me at that point.
Yeah, it's hard to say at this point.
You know, I just thought the worst, and I just thought, just defended myself and stood my ground. I was scared. I was scared of the guy. I was. I mean, he was vicious. He was a vicious guy. He was a big vicious guy.
You guys have blows for that. So we're gonna ask you for two things. We're gonna ask you for No, I just grabbed it. We're gonna ask you for a DNA standard, and we always do that in this type of a case. And we're gonna ask you for we're gonna do a gunshot residue kit on you. And those are all standard things that we do on these types of investigations. So we're going to do that right now, and then we'll explain where we go from here.
I mean, I stood my ground today. I did. He lunged at me and attacked me. There was a brick wall, and our back was against that wall.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying.
Our back was against that wall.
I hear what you're saying.
I just can't believe this happened either. It just happened so fast.
Yeah.
You know? And what you just told me is horrible. I wouldn't wish that on anybody.
No, I understand that.
It's a horrible thing.
Yeah,
it's something.
Yes,
I just wouldn't wish on your worst. And if I could take it back, I would have just let him jump on me if I knew this was going to happen. If I knew that was going to, if I was going to instantly do that to him. I am not a killer. I'm not a violent person, period. But I was scared. My back was against the wall. But it tells you how scared I really was, though. You know what I mean? I feel my life was in danger. I did. If I wouldn't have done it at that point, he would have jumped on me. He'd have been all over me. If I wouldn't have done that, he'd have been all over me. I mean, I've never done anything to anybody. I just can't believe it's happening. I'm just sorry I have to be put in this situation.
I understand.
If I wouldn't have done that, though, and I had that on me, too, they'd probably end up using it on me. I would never wish that on anybody. I'm just sorry.
The law varies from state to state, but generally when a person claims self-defense, detectives will usually look at two main things. Was the person in fear for their life, and did they have the means to escape the situation? In this case, it would appear that Clifford acted out of anger and frustration rather than a fear for his life, so the detectives are about to let him know that he is being charged with murder.
But didn't he have a fear for his life after the other 14 times that bro got on that with him? You got my thing with the law, bro, is like, when is enough enough? When is enough going to be enough? The 15th time? So if he run in the house, if he go in the house and then call the police, he like, hey, yo out here on some other stuff, they come knock, do. Like, man, leave bro alone. He called us again, whatever. Like, when is enough going to be enough? At some point in time, you got to stand up not only to just bullies, but to anything that you fear. Anything that you fear, unless you want your life to be controlled by fear.
You are going to be charged with murder.
What?
Yeah. You're being charged with murder, and you're going to be transported to the Franklin County Jail today, okay?
Are you serious?
I am. And then we'll start through the court process, and you'll be entitled to, get an attorney and all that stuff. So
That doesn't mean you're convicted of anything.
it does not mean you're convicted. It just means that we're going to arrest you. You're already under arrest, but we're going to charge you with the crime of murder right now.
The crime of murder when it was, for what? That was self-defense. He attacked me. For what?
Well, based on our investigation, this appears to us to be, a homicide.
A homicide? I did not attack him, though.
Well, I hear you. I hear what you're saying. I understand your version of what happened, okay? But we have some evidence and some other things that we have to look at. So it's our decision right now to charge you with murder. We're going to take you to the Franklin County Jail.
Oh, my goodness. I've never done anything in my
Now,
life.
this will go to a grand jury. The grand jury will look at it, and they'll decide if they want to indict you or not. And if they choose to indict you, then it'll start the trial process. So.
But if they think it's self-defense and you want to...
That's what it was, self-defense. It was self-defense.
And if the grand jury looks at it and says, no, we think this is self-defense, they won't indict it. Or if the grand jury indicts you, and for whatever reason, we go to trial, if you can put on you have an attorney and they can put on a self-defense case, then, there's a million ways this thing can go. So, but right now, as it stands right now, that's where we're at.
I just stood my ground today was all I done. I knew I should have just let him just jump on me.
I understand what you're saying.
I should have just let him jump on me. I should have just let him.
Do you have any questions for us about what's going to happen and how this thing's going to work at this point?
He tried to attack me, though.
I hear you, and I understand what you're saying to me, and we've got your statement, and that will certainly all be included in our report and our information that we provide to the grand jury. So, okay.
I didn't mean for any of this to happen.
Well,
it just happened so quickly.
I understand. Yeah, I understand what you're saying.
Our back was against the wall when he came over there. What was I supposed to do at that point?
Well, the only thing I can tell you is I wasn't there and I wasn't in your situation, right? But you do have a duty to try to retreat and that kind of thing. So, but I hear what you're saying, and I understand your statement to us. And like I said, that's all going to be included in the information that we give to the grand jury. So, okay.
I did not deserve this. This was self-defense, you guys.
I hear what you're saying.
I'm fearing for my life. Did you see the size of this guy? God, he had fun.
I hear you. I do. I hear you. Okay. But right now where we're at, this is what our decision is.
I should have just let him jump on me then. I should have just let him have his way with me. That's what I knew I should have done.
Okay. If you have any questions, we're going to set you back in there and you're going to lose the uniform. Okay. You want to take your water with you?
Yes.
Copy, 1208.
Clifford was initially charged with first-degree murder, but the charge, luckily for Clifford, would be reduced to second degree instead. Clifford would take the case to trial, where he would be found guilty and sentenced to a little over 20 years in prison.
Wow.
What are your thoughts on this case?
Do I believe him that it was going down like that? Hell yeah. Hell yeah, I believe that. As a man, how you could, get bullied in that position, I really don't know. But again, I've never been in that type of environment. I've never been in an environment like that. But I'm sure if what he's saying is true, like I said, which I think it is, bro, at some point in time, you got to put some weights in your pocket, bro. You got to put some weights in your pocket. And you know that day going to come where you going to have to, like I said, face your fear. What is it? Fight or flight, whatever they want to call it, bro. Whatever that's called, at some point in time, you're going to have to do it, and it just get crazy when the law get involved, and then they start bringing in all of this different, well, technically, you weren't far enough away to say that it was a self-defense, and I don't know, I kind of felt like bro was lying in the beginning, because he said that he lunged at him, or maybe I was looking a little bit too far into it. Maybe I was looking a little bit too far into it, but I am slapped, man. I'm sleepy. I ain't gonna lie to y'all, man. I'm about to go ahead and wrap it up. Y'all let me know what y'all think about that video. Holla at y'all. That's not the outro. That's not the outro. Y'all let me know what y'all think about that video. GTG, the fam, as always, is love. And we out.